Hey guys, I wanted to talk about entities today. Uh, I'm doing my own paranormal research and I'm still kind of trying to figure out entities. Uh, I also do research on other people, but I really don't go more than the internet. But from what I'm reading, a lot of people are confused with ghosts and entities. Apparently, they think they're the same thing. I, on the other hand, think that they're separate stuff. There's some type of separate beings out there that are actually watching us, taking care of us, or I'm not too sure exactly what they're doing. They bother us or scare the hell out of us when we're not doing something we're supposed to be doing. I kind of noticed this that when bad stuff starts happening, it happens to a lot of women, maybe some guys. I read their background stories and it's like they don't do anything. There's people who are at home all the time, which is kind of true. That's kind of what happened to me before I started going to college and studying psychology. There was some type of thing that was bothering me. As soon as I enrolled in school, it kind of died down a little bit. I don't know what it is about that, but I think when you're not doing what they want you to do, they kind of like bother you or scare you and, cause some type of problem that you actually notice them. Um, if an entity can switch a light switch, turn one on and off, they are very, very powerful. But a ghost is just somebody who has passed on. That's something totally different, in my opinion, from what I'm, researching and studying and going through. Um, Ghosts can probably show themselves, which is the orb that you see. There's different colors of orbs. People are seeing blue, red, and green. All I know is that the blue one usually comes when somebody's suffering or somebody's sick. It's some type of paranormal thing. Um, what I have noticed is that entities, more of them show up like shadow people. That's what they show up like. Shadow people are, these things that come in and out. But there's a separate entity that we've seen around here in this area. It's La Sarah, Texas. It's some type of um, kind of like, I don't know if you ever seen that movie Predator. It's like something that looks invisible, but you can kind of still see that there's something there. I have a feeling that's some type of separate entity. The shadow people they've seen here or been seen here are the ones that they look very, very skinny and scrawny, very tall. Um, the other ones, the ones that you can see through them, they look like, Predator movie or whatever. Um, it, they're translucent, okay, but they still have a form. Those ones, they usually look straight up. They've seen shadow people with hats, like cowboy hats here, or ghosts with hats, cowboy hats. Shadow people, they usually don't have anything around here that anybody's ever told me. There's people down the streets that I don't really know too well, but they've come to our house, and they say they're very scared. They hear noises in their house. They see things. Somehow this is connected to also, they have very different means of traveling to places. I feel that they travel to places they've seen before, and when they die, they actually, can go to house, like one big house for them, or outside, or whatever, wherever they show up. It kind of looks the same. They go to places that look familiar. They don't have to necessarily die there in order to be haunting that place. Um, like I said, they have other roads. We have a canal behind our house and underground streams here, underground lakes and stuff like that. There was an old saying that they actually traveled through there, and there's other ones that are electrical by nature. Um, some type of entity that travels through, media, travel through phones, impulses or a pulse. I think that's what they call them, pulse. For paranormal, I don't understand the acronym, but they have some type of life form of pulse for a life form. Um, Basically, they travel through their own media, so and then there's things that people have seen in the trees and the woods and stuff like that, which is actually something else. It's a little different. Those ones, how they were explained to me when I was little, is that they're from the earth. The Native Americans knew about that. Nobody would ever move here to La Sara because I guess they thought it was haunted. It was too dense and too hard to get in here to in the old days, and people would not pass through here, but they would pass through Raymondville and places like that to travel. But um, so there's no real not a lot of dead people around here and things like that. But they do. There are spirits that do live in the woods and come out of there, and things that we don't know of yet. You think you know everything, but you can't know everything. There's always some other form of life form that actually can exist. We have our senses, like we can see, smell, touch, but there's actually infrared light. Goldfish see it. Cats can see in the dark. Eagles can see at a longer distance. We don't have those senses to see that. There's other forms of light, other forms of energy that haven't really been tested yet. There's quantum physics and all that stuff. Um, but based on what we know now, we can't find them for some reason because they're a different form of energy, a deeper, darker form of energy that I think that has some form of mass, but it can. I don't want to say it sounds corny, but you can jump from world to world. It can solidify and then dissipate. We don't know anything of that nature, and we don't know anything of something like that. But there is something like that, because there ain't nothing in nothing. Everything has something in it. If you go to the desert, you'll find life. If you go to the ocean, you'll find life. If you go to a volcano, you will find life under the ocean. You know, if you go to space, I'm pretty sure there's microbes or something that can survive out there. Probably dormant, but it's still there. You come to Earth, you're like, oh, there's nothing here. I'm alone. There's a tree. That's a form of life. You not all forms of life are forms that can be, explained, or that we can see them as, intelligent life. We try to look for intelligent life, even though there is life. It just depends on what form of being they want to actually be, or what realm they want to be. We think that as people, we're the highest thing on the food chain, we're the highest thing on the intelligence chain. We're actually the end of everything. But what if there's something that's not like us? What if there's something that actually has a deeper meaning? Women care about feelings, men care about progress. What if there's something that watches over us, guiding us, protecting us, or, harming us when we don't do what we're supposed to be doing in life? Like a father, gets mad at a child for not listening or doing something in their life. It's something like that. Whatever these things are, they're watching us, they're protecting us in some way. They're guiding us. They're, like an owner would guide an animal, or a father would guide his son, and, that type of form. Um, there is something about it. Can't be explained, but sometimes you can feel the negative energy that builds up. And every action has an opposite but equal reaction, like they say. So if you're upset, you can actually create a form of energy. Can't be seen by us, but I've heard stories by friends that when you're having a real bad fight with somebody, you'll see something will make itself known to you, bad stuff will happen, stuff like that, which is the negative energy building up, because it has to go somewhere. An action has a reaction. So the reaction was you got pissed off and you let it out, but there's other forms of it going out. You don't shoot a beam of light into a mirror and the mirror reflects it just one way. It goes very many ways. So when you show your energy towards somebody, that's your energy going to them. It goes other ways, not just there too. It doesn't just affect the person you're getting mad at. It affects the people around, and other forms as well. You got to think in other dimensional, psychological aspects of energy and life. So we were here to do stuff. When we're not doing it, stuff pops out at us. It's not that we're just noticing it, or we're not aware of it, but it's actually always there. A flower cannot see us. We water the flower. The flower doesn't see us. What about an ant? The ant, it can't see an anteater. It can only see it when it's attacking, but to that limit. So why can't an ant see an anteater? It's right on top of it, hovering, but yet it doesn't run. It can be seen by some things. A worm doesn't see a bird. It's probably really hard. There's just things that are higher level than us that we think that we're the highest, but we're not. We're actually pretty much, it's always something bigger, something better. We just can't see it. We don't have the spectrum of vision or the comprehension to see it or hear it. I mean, think about it. If God's so perfect, could you understand him if he spoke to you? I mean, he's so perfect. He could probably go to other worlds and speak to other creatures or entities, or he speaks to ghosts or entities or people. His voice would probably be so powerful that he would speak to you for 1,000,000 years in 1 second. You would hear like a blah, or a big loud noise. But if you deciphered it, it would be so perfect. It would have the whole conversation of him in a one word, or a noise. It'd be like a signal from space being sent for like 1 second, and then we decipher it. And oh my gosh, it has so many codes in there and stuff that we never thought. Because would be a divine language. It would be better than what we could understand. So when you hear a noise, maybe it could be something speaking to you. It just spoke so fast because every creature has a different level of understanding time or seeing time or perceiving time. So a fly only lives 24 hours. It lives its whole life in 24 hours. It's so hyperactive that it probably, is all crazy everywhere. We can't hit it. It's so fast. It can see us way faster and process things way quicker. So what's to say there's not something that can do it way faster than we can? Or something that slows down. So if it speaks to us, it was talking to us for a long time and we just heard it for 1 second. Because our perception of time is way faster. It's in seconds and minutes. What if that thing spoke to us for years and we were just still and not moving for as long until it's finished speaking to us and then just walked away? For us it was a second. For that thing it could have been weeks, days, months, years, standing there waiting for you to do something. And to us it seemed like something instant. You heard a noise in the side of the room, saw a glimpse of something. Imagine the Flash if he was real. He walked right in front of you, ran around you a few times, tried to talk to you, and his level of, speed, could you perceive him? No. I'm not saying that he's real. I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. Who knows? It's improbable, not impossible. So, our perception isn't final. There's things that are faster than us, processing things that are slower than us. We don't think like a worm. We don't think like a turtle can live 300 years. Turtle can outlive us. Oh my gosh, how sad. We're supposed to be on top of the thing. You think you're better, you think you know more. You don't, because there's always something better, faster, quicker. There's always something slower, can see in a different form, can comprehend differently. We don't think like a cat. Yeah, a cat doesn't have to work. We do. How does a cat get away with it and we don't? Who's smarter than? You're cleaning up your dog crap and, is in your house. You don't have power over that, do you? It's really hard. So, we don't understand everything. All the knowledge that was brought to us since the old days has disappeared. Nobody has it no more. It dissipated. The internet, a long time ago, there was libraries. Libraries ended up getting burned, fires. There was ancient libraries. And they made newer libraries, better books. They used to have scrolls. Now they had books. Now it's been updated to the internet. All the knowledge of the world is being broadcast on there. Will it disappear? Who knows? Well, that was my, few words about that. Entities, spirits, understanding things we can't understand. Alright, peace out, guys.